Akshay sir is like one of the best people to work with. He was so good to me and he was just very sweet. I think लोगों का impression ये होगा मेरे social media को देख के कि सोफी तो दिन रात बिकिनी में घूमती हो. Literally. But डर तो हर किसी के दिल में होता है ना कि अच्छा होगा कि नहीं होगा, मैं कर पाऊंगी कि नहीं कर पाऊंगी. And then when you do it, that's the satisfaction, right? मैंने बहुत सारे director producers को offend किया without realizing. वो मुझे कुछ offer करते थे और मैं कहती थी I'm so sorry, I don't see myself doing this role. Sir, मेरे पास dates नहीं है, आपने मेरे बारे में सोचा, बहुत ही बड़ी बात हो गई मेरे लिए, लेकिन मेरे पास dates नहीं. But ये सब नहीं आता था मुझे, ये नौटंकियाँ नहीं आती थी.
Mirchi पर I have someone really very special. She is a fashion icon. She's the OG glam doll. She's a singer. She's been a VJ and she is Sophie Choudry. And my first question to you, Sophie, is there's a lot of confusion because Hothon में Aisi Baat is the hook.
Yeah.
So ये confusion clear करें कि ये पुराने गाने का recreation नहीं है, ये नया गाना है.
Actually हाँ, एक इसकी ये भी वजह है कि हमने इस गाने का नाम किया रखा है Lips.
Yeah.
One because it's just easier and different. And the minute if I name this song होंठों पे ऐसी बात, people are just gonna say कि वो ही गाना बनाया. But actually जो इस गाने की म्यूजिक डायरेक्टर और लिरिसिस्ट हैं राही एंड अरदास, रियली कूल यंग टैलेंटेड बंच ऑफ बॉयज. और जो गाना है वो बिल्कुल ही अलग है फ्रॉम द ओरिजिनल. इट इज completely different.
Absolutely. Sophie, अगर मैं आपके म्यूजिक वीडियोस के बारे में बात करूँ, they are so different. Like one video is different from another, and I love that song of yours, Babu Chhel Chabila, where I loved Sophie singing in Girl Next Door Avatar. Like she enters in all of this glamorous look, and then she gets him. She's like, she's some girl who's teaching dance. So हर एक म्यूजिक वीडियो का मेकिंग इज कम्प्लीटली डिफरेंट. लाइक आई डोंट सी एनी काइंड ऑफ सिमिलैरिटी. हाउ डज इट हैपन? लाइक डू यू ऑल्सो पुट योर ब्रेन्स इनटू इट दैट दिस इज द वे आई वांट इट, और यू आर अ डायरेक्टर्स आर्टिस्ट?
No, a lot of it is me also. I think उस टाइम पे बाबू and एक परदेसी के टाइम पे the directors were really involved, but as time has progressed it's really been me. I've been producing the videos. A lot of it is me. I miss seeing things like that. I mean, why do we still talk about them? Why 20 years on is everybody talking about Ik Pardesi like it was made yesterday, or many other songs of that time, chahe wo Pardesiya ho, chahe Mere Naseeb mein jo bhi ho, we all talk about
every
them
song had a story.
because they left a little bit of an impression. They were a little different. It wasn't just कि हमने a bunch of dancers और बहुत सारे लोगों को एक नाइट क्लब में डाल दिया और गाना शूट किया. It's different.
Absolutely. Now we'll come back to the video. You're working with Freddy Daruwala for the first time.
Yeah, he did a little guest appearance for me before, but this is the first time.
Yeah, so you're working with him. How was the experience? But you have a common factor. You have a common connection. You have worked with Akshay Kumar, and he's also worked with Akshay Kumar.
Yeah.
So what kind of banter, what kind of chemistry, ice-breaking session कैसा था sets पर?
Let me tell you, Freddy is one of my best friends actually. So he's one of my closest in my squad. Manish Malhotra, Freddy, me and a couple of us are like a squad. और हम हमारा चैट भी है, ग्रुप चैट भी है, और हम मिलते भी रहते हैं. फ्रेडी मेरा बहुत अच्छा पुराना दोस्त है, एंड आई जेन्युइनली फील ही इज़ वन ऑफ द बेस्ट लुकिंग मैन इन द कंट्री. लोगों ने उनको फिल्मों में देखा है विलन की तरह ज़्यादातर. तो मैंने कहा यार इतना गुड लुकिंग लड़का, ही शुड बी अ हीरो ऑल्सो. एंड ही इज़, यू नो, देयर इज़ अ कंफर्ट लेवल. हालांकि वी हैव नेवर done these kind of scenes with each other, but there's an inherent comfort level. And just friends supporting each other, which I think is really nice. I've always been really lucky. चाहे वो Dino Moria हो, चाहे आशीष चौधरी हो, चाहे कोई भी हो, चाहे वरुण धवन हो. The boys have always supported me. And the girls also, be it Malaika and, you know, Shilpa and all of them. They've always been so supportive. So Freddy was so lovely to work with. He's super talented. He's super hot. And I think the thought also was like, एक टाइम वो मेड इन इंडिया वीडियो आया था जिसमें मिलन सोमन थे. Now there's not that many super models.
Let's not talk about.
Yeah, I sang on that when I was 12. I did the backing vocals for Made in India.
Wow.
So I'm like, in my head, I'm like that whole supermodel era, that Arjun Rampal, Milan Soman. It's not really that, because most people just end up becoming actors. So I was like, he's a good-looking guy. And there should be a thirst trap in my video. So I was like, Freddy, tum ban jao. And he didn't object, so it was fine.
You know, since I mentioned that there was a common factor, you've also worked with Akshay Kumar, and Freddy has also worked with Akshay Kumar. So before he started working, did you give him any advice or any heads up that how he needs to be
Freddy?
on the set? Yeah, because you've worked with Akshay sir way before Freddy.
Yeah, when he was going to work with Akshay? Yeah. No, not at all. I mean, I think... everyone like finds their own space, and I think Akshay sir is like one of the best people to work with. He was so good to me. एक तो वो पंजाबी factor आ गया, तो he just automatically fell in love with my mom. उनकी जो गप्पें गल्लां वो सब जो चल रही थी, that was great. He's a foodie also, which people don't believe, and he was just very sweet. and looked out for me on that set. It was just a few days' work. But it's very funny because the amount of people who recognize me from Once Upon a Time in Mumbai Dobara is insane. Like, it's crazy. I'm like, all the time, people like come up to me literally, हाँ आप तो अक्षय सर के साथ Once Upon a Time. I'm like, out of everything आपने वो देखा है? Like, it's really funny. But it was lovely working with him, and I would work again with him in a heartbeat. For sure.
How was the vibe on the set? Like,
with him?
With him, yeah.
It was, he did something so amazing. So we shot a couple of days in Muscat, and then we had to shoot back in Bombay. And then I was actually called, I was in New York, and I was on my one rare holiday, and I was called back to shoot a scene with him, जो eventually picture में गया ही नहीं, which was, जो एक holiday था वो भी गया, scene भी गया, but वो होता है. Just letting people know. But the scene in the cricket ground, which is something that everybody remembers a lot, where I tell him, आप बहुत माहिर खिलाड़ी हैं. तो वो scene के लिए मेरा जो look था, हमारे director साहब थे, मिलन जी, उन्होंने बहुत अलग सोचा हुआ था. He was thinking very like Arab jacket, everything like very covered. And Akshay saw me like that, and he was like, what are you wearing? I was like, I know, it's a little like, he's like, no. You need to be like super glam. Like, that is your character. I was like, I know. He's like, so change. I was like, there are no other clothes options. He's like, what do you mean? I said, well, यही look था सबके mind में, तो उन्होंने यही किया है. तो मैंने भी नहीं कुछ सोचा. So he's like, we are not shooting until your look is correct. He literally held up the shoot. Like, he was like, you need to look correct for this, and I want you to be happy as well. No one does that. It was very sweet of him. My boy went running home, brought a change of outfit, changed, हमने फटाफट shoot किया. That says a lot about somebody, because a lot of actors don't care about other people. They're only focused on themselves. But it was really important to him that this character look a certain way, and she looks the part because आगे जो होने वाला, it should connect.
Yeah.
And he was so sure about it. And actually, I think when the director had also seen me in that look, he was like, "Nee, this was not what I was exactly imagining. We need to change it." So everybody was held up. And that said a lot about him. So, yeah, I will never forget that. It's a very sweet gesture.
So, आपके गानों में एक बहुत ही कमाल का amalgamation होता है. The lyrics are so innocent and the video is so glamorous. Like, if I want to use your songs probably in a shadi, I can do that also.
Yeah, I always make it for that.
Huh? Yeah. So now I want to know Sophie's personality. Like, Sophie is that girl next door, that bholi bhali ladki, or she's all glammed up, or she's a mixture of?
I'm definitely a mix of both. I think, I'm born and brought up abroad. I spent my formative years in London and Paris. I went to the London School of Economics. I am this boss girl kind of, I am that strong girl when I step out. And I'm someone who's been brought up by strong women. So I kind of believe that I can forge my path. But at the same time, I'm a full-on family, sit at home in my pajamas. This image के Sophie बहुत glamorous है और रोज party करती है, वो तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. Sophie घर पे with her dog and her mom and her Netflix or whatever it is, like her OTT shows. That's what she wants to do. This getting ready and going out for parties, late nights is not my vibe at all.
ये ऐसा क्यों होता है कि हम सोचते हैं कि celebrities like जो social media पर दिखता है, the way you present yourself, you are always like partying, and then when we talk to you in person, you're just like us.
Of course, so yeah, we all have a normal life. I think लोगों का impression ये हो गया होगा मेरे social media को देख के कि सोफी तो दिन रात बिकिनी में घूमती होगी. Literally, that's what people must be imagining, right? That's like, this is Sophie's life. She's literally living on the beach. That's all she's doing. I'm like, no, that's maybe for like 5 days in a year. I
saw this post on social media where the caption was like, Sophie Choudry's photographs will want to make you pack your bags. For vacation, for vacation. I was like, okay, let me see first. And I was like, I can't afford Maldives right now, but then let me just go to Goa.
Yeah, well, if it makes you want to go somewhere, that's a good thing. But it's just, they should not be off-putting. Like, this is looking really high maintenance. To nahi ja pa. It's not that, yaar. I'm very blessed to live the life I do. But believe me, मैं बहुत ज़्यादा कम holidays लेती हूँ. मैं hardly holidays लेती हूँ. So this whole glamorous, restful, mazedar, yes, love my life, very privileged, but there's a lot of hard work.
Let's talk about the chaos which we were talking about earlier, that कितने सारी चीजों को manage करके you actually managed to launch this song. We want to know.
Oh my God, the Lips का release was supposed to be on a different day, and then करते करते we were like, okay, नहीं, यही सही दिन है, इस पे करेंगे. I said, बहुत अच्छी बात है. अब मुझे रात को flight लेनी थी to go to Hong Kong and then onward to Macau. Couldn't go directly from Bombay. Flights were sold out. Went via Delhi. My connection was 2 hours late. जो भाग के हम उस flight पे जो चढ़े हैं, आई डोंट नो हाउ. हम वहाँ हांगकांग पहुंचे तो आधा सामान नहीं आया. मेरा शो उसी रात को. Trying to communicate and get the luggage, and then from there you have to either go by road or by ferry to Macau. So this is like now, and in that I'm getting ready to launch the song. I cannot tell you. सामान नहीं आया, flight almost miss हो चुकी है, सारी रात हम सोए नहीं है, मुझे sound check पे जाना है. I've got 18 people traveling with me. Sheer chaos. And in that I'm like, post. Like literally. And then everyone's like starting to tag, and I'm like, how am I going to repost everyone doing sound check and trying to repost? It was pure chaos, but I guess that's part of what it is.
Is there any mantra where you actually decide कि अच्छा ऐसे multitasking करनी? Because I think this is going to be very helpful for a lot of people who are trying to multitask. So many things you're managing at the same time.
यार I don't know, मैं तो शुरू से ही multitask कर रही हूँ. Singer, actor, VJ, producer. मैंने तो कोई चीज़ नहीं छोड़ी कि मैं कोशिश तो करूँ. तो I am basically that person. But just to let everybody know, I also do panic. It's not कि मैं बहुत calmly और style में ये हर चीज़ कर रही हूँ. I'm also that overthinker, warrior. I may look very glamorous and I may have my game face on, but inside I'm like, oh my God, होगा नहीं होगा. It's that. And I think that is the beauty of, that's what makes you real. The fact that you want to do so much कि आप इतनी चीज़ें aspire करते हो कि मुझे ये भी अच्छा करना है, वो भी अच्छा करना है. But डर तो हर किसी के दिल में होता है ना कि अच्छा होगा कि नहीं होगा, मैं कर पाऊंगी कि नहीं कर पाऊंगी. And then when you do it, that's the satisfaction, right?
Since you said that you know you are an overthinker,
yeah.
What kind of thoughts appear in your mind when you are going on the sets to perform, to shoot? What kind of insecurities or things or thoughts surround you? Because you've been doing this from quite a long time.
You know, that's a great question, especially about insecurities, because to be very honest, now with social media, I think सब पे pressure बहुत ज़्यादा है to be perfect all the time. But irony ये है कि जब मैं, you know, in my 20s and my early 30s, that is when I had pressure on myself. That is when my insecurities were at their max, कि, you know, whatever they were. And today, when the social media pressure is at an all-time high, this is when I'm most relaxed about who I am. And it's perhaps something that comes with time, something that comes with age, and also the realization that, listen, this is me, and I'm not answerable to everybody. And I really hope that you like what I do. But I cannot expect you all to love me or love what I do. And so that is really what keeps me calm and sane.
So now we had this very fun segment where we asked fans to, like, you know, send us questions.
Sure.
And so we jotted down like 3 top questions.
Okay.
And because आप लव गुरु हैं और आज की हमारी जनरेशन जो है आप
इसके बारे में मैं बाद में बात करूंगी, but हाँ जी चलिए.
But now we want you to solve Gen Z's की problem because obviously, like, you know.
Oh, चलो सुनाओ.
Yeah. So first question is, सिचुएशनशिप के ज़माने में रियल लव कैसे ढूंढे सोफी?
ये आपने बहुत ही अच्छा सवाल पूछा है क्योंकि मैं भी अभी तक सिंगल ही हूँ.
सारी खूबसूरत लड़कियां सिंगल ही होती है जैसे मैं और सोफी.
Yes, exactly. Because हमें सिचुएशनशिप नहीं चाहिए ना, हमको रियल लव. But एक बात मैं बताऊँ, the one thing that lasts through time, no matter what, are people who do want real love. तो हाँ, you have to go through a little bit of the situationships perhaps. You have to find your way through all of that to actually find the real love. And I know बहुत मुश्किल है, आसान नहीं है, but I genuinely believe कि जब दो लोग मिलते हैं और उनका connection इतना strong होता है, then nothing stands in that way.
Beautiful. Green flag से ऊपर कुछ है सोफी के लिए? Is there any? Because इतने सारे flags हैं, pink, beige, green. सोफी का flag कौन सा है? Which she sees कि अच्छा ये वो वाला फ्लैग है और मैं सजेस्ट कर सकती हूँ जेन ज़ी को.
You know what? I'm in blue today. It's also my favorite color. I say a blue flag because I think the most important thing to have in your partner is somebody who's like got stability, who's calm in their head, especially for somebody like me. Like I need somebody who's like very sorted, very calm, very balanced. And for me, like the biggest plus in somebody is someone who's balanced. So for me, that's my blue flag. वो बहुत important.
Now we have a different color, and please guys look out for blue flag
blue
because
flags.
it's really very important. Yeah. So if you have to spot a blue flag in online dating, कैसे ऐसे 3 फैक्टर्स आप बता सकते हो आज की जनरेशन को कि अगर ये 3 ऑनलाइन डेटिंग के बायो में है तो ये ब्लू फ्लैग है?
Wow. ये एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग सवाल है for somebody who's never dated online. Because I was like, the minute I put my picture, people are going to be like, that's a fake. That's definitely not her. And then if I do put my picture, be like, yeah, ये तो बहुत ही desperate है, which is not the case at all. So online dating I have not done. But I guess a blue flag would come from me, I guess from the kind of pictures you see of the person, although pictures can be fake nowadays. I guess it would be somebody who just loves what they do. Somebody who is super passionate about their work, passionate about their family. Somebody who has a full life, like not somebody who's only doing one thing with their life. I think if they have a full life, that's somebody who's balanced and who's got a lot to offer, because I really believe that life is worth living. You can't just be doing one thing.
So सारे लड़कों सुन लो, अगर तुम्हारा डेटिंग ऐप पे तुम्हारी फैमिली के पिक्चर्स हैं, तुम्हारे वर्क के पिक्चर्स तुम्हारी हैं, डाल दो, तो पहले तो डाल दो.
हाँ. पहले तो सब थर्स्ट ट्रैप्स ही डालेंगे, बाद में फिर बाकी डाल देना. हाँ. वो इम्पोर्टेंट है. वो बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. Genuinely, if you're looking for a relationship, if you're looking for fun, then no need.
तो फिर जरूरी नहीं.
बिल्कुल नहीं.
Okay, lot of our listeners, they want to know about your journey, Sophie, because for us, like, you've been a very closed person. We've seen you a very closed person. We actually don't know who really Sophie is. Like, we've seen a lot of interviews यहाँ पे आप बात कर रहे हो अपने गाने के बारे में. You've been singing since you were 12. You sing in so many languages. But किस तरीके के ups and downs, because coming from London, इंडिया में आना, settle होना, बहुत सारे challenges face किए होंगे आपने.
Yeah, it was really tough. जब हम आए तब I already had my girl band when I was at college. तो हमारे गाने चल गए, and then as girl bands do, we split up. And it was pretty traumatic. And then I finished my degree and I got a solo deal. तो मुझे लगा मैं आती हूँ, इंडिया आती हूँ. तो हम आए और my record company had no idea what to do. I had the solo album एक release हुआ, उसके बाद एक और आना था. They were just every day, it was like, you're our new Nazia Hassan, you're our new Salma Agha, you're our new this. I said, no, I'm just Sophie. I'm me. And let's see what we want to do with me. Kuch bhi nahi kar rahe the. They were so just kind of leading me on. And here I'm thinking, yaar, I've literally left my country to come here for 1 year to see what happens. And this is not going anywhere. And that's when MTV was chasing me to be a VJ. And I became a VJ. And I was already a VJ in London, so I never wanted to do it here. But I just grabbed the opportunity. I said, let's see what happens. And I became a household name overnight, and everything started changing from there. But it is not easy वहाँ से यहाँ आना, because एक तो आपके बारे में बहुत सारे preconceived notions हैं. You're like, एक तो I was seen as very glamorous from the outset. That's because I'm from there. That's how I'm used to being. I'm born and brought up like that. It was very natural to me. So automatically a lot of labels come on you. When people would call you like to meet for films, a lot of the experiences were not pleasant or what I expected them to be. I was really lucky. I always had family backing, and my mom was always like, वापस जाना होगा तो चलेंगे. But I was like, नहीं, हम तो यहाँ हैं ना देखने के लिए कि क्या होता है. 1 साल तो देखते हैं. उस 1 साल में मेहनत के बाद things really changed. When Babu Chhel Chhabila became big, then a year later Ik Pardesi, then David Uncle called to launch me, then प्यार के side effects. But definitely उसके बाद भी ups and downs बहुत थे, because उस टाइम पे पहले pop बहुत चल रहा था. मेरे गाने बहुत चल रहे थे. It was all good. But music directors would not call me because I didn't have a typical playback voice. Then when I became a heroine and different voices started coming in, they're like, she's an actress, so she's not going to sing for anyone else. Again, they didn't call me. So I was never getting movie songs. Then films mein, I was just dabbling. I was never so serious that I'm going to become some big heroine. I knew that was difficult. And they didn't also want it, because they're like, you're a VJ singer, you can't be an actor as well. So to find your space, I found a little niche where people were like, she's a VJ, she's a singer, she's an actor, she's got her own space, which was great. But then to keep relevant, to stay alive in this industry without those link-ups, without those rumors, without the godfathers, and being an outsider, a complete outsider. It was tough. It's really hard. But somehow I think if you put in the work and if you're good at what you do and you make your own space, the way things work here are so different. I always say this. I say British Asians are very simple. बहुत straightforward हैं. जो वो सोचते हैं वो बोल देते हैं. और यहाँ पे आके जिस तरह से लोग बात करते हैं थोड़ा अलग है. मैंने बहुत सारे डायरेक्टर प्रोड्यूसर्स को ऑफेंड किया विदाउट रियलाइजिंग. वो मुझे कुछ ऑफर करते थे और मैं कहती थी, आई एम सो सॉरी, आई डोंट सी माई सेल्फ डूइंग दिस रोल, विदाउट रियलाइजिंग दैट आई एम ऑफेंडिंग दैम. व्हाट आई नीडेड टू बी टोल्ड टू से वाज, सर मेरे पास डेट्स नहीं है, आपने मेरे बारे में सोचा, बहुत ही बड़ी बात हो गई मेरे लिए, लेकिन मेरे पास डेट्स नहीं. बट ये सब नहीं आता था मुझे, ये नौटंकियाँ नहीं आती थी. आई वॉज वेरी डायरेक्ट, ऑलवेज वेरी स्ट्रेट. सो आई गेस that's who I am. That's the person that I am. And that has not changed. मैं अभी भी वही हूँ, but I was one of the fortunate ones कि यहाँ पे मुझे बहुत प्यार मिला और अभी तक वो प्यार बरकरार है. So yeah.
It's so inspiring and it's so motivating for all of us, and especially for the fans who are going to be listening to you on radio and watching you on our social media platforms. Beautiful. Thank you so much,
You're
Sophie.
welcome.
Such an amazing conversation.
Thank you.